Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have an article coming from a Ukrainian news outlet, and supposedly this Ukrainska Pravda, I think that's what it is, or the new voice of Ukraine, they report what some Russian reported regarding some Russian troops. So let's get it on. This article comes from, as I said, the New Voice of Ukraine, September 7th, 2022, and this is the title. Russian propagandist confirms encirclement of Russian elite units in Kharkiv Oblast. Now, if you're familiar with what's going on over there, yesterday and the day before and so on, for the past, I don't know, maybe month and a half, they were claiming that the Russians have no more troops. Everything they got is just, I don't know, peasants and mercenaries and Chechen fighters. They don't have elite troops. Now, where this appears to be confirmed that some troops, Russian troops, possibly were encircled, those must be elite troops. It's very strange, just an observation. Until yesterday, the Ukrainian media was claiming that Russian army is trying to recruit people from homeless shelters, and they try to pardon criminals so they can recruit them in the army. And now we have an encirclement, which is exactly the most fantastic elite troops. This goes with that little, normal, psychological theory that whatever you it's self-attribution, that's what it's called. Whenever you succeed something, it's because of you, and whenever something happens to you, it's because some other reasons, or you always overemphasize your achievements and you always try to minimize your losses or failures. In this case, this is an achievement, so they will call these groups of Russian fighters or enemies as elite. I mean, probably they could tell you they were the best ones they've ever encountered. But let's move on and see what these guys are saying. According to the propagandist, who is well known in the circles of supporters of Russian aggression against Ukraine, and I'm quoting, the Russian units are now out of communications contact, which may possibly indicate their destruction or capture. Yes, it could indicate that elimination and capture. So, and then again, I'm quoting, I confirm the encirclement of the assembled detachments of the Samara and Bashkir SOBRSs within the boundaries of Balaklia. The update reads, and I'm quoting, yesterday we were in contact with the boys, today there is none, end quote. In addition, he stated that the Ukrainian army in Kharkiv Oblast is conducting an offensive on two axes at once, Kapinsk, Kapyansk and Izium. And I'm quoting, the advance to Izium poses not only a threat to the headquarters of the Russian Armed Forces group on this axis, but also to the rear of our troops of the Slovyansk axis, the military blogger added. This is why the Ukrainians are trying to rev up here. At the same time, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine has not yet officially commented on the reports about the fighting around Balaklia. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian army constitutes its counteroffensive, which began on August 29th, liberating Ukrainian territories on several axes at once. The Ukrainian Defense Forces maintain the Antonivsky Bridge and other crossing across the Dnipro River in the Kherson Oblast under their fire control, preventing the Russian military from restoring these critical supply routes for them. Now, the transfer of Russian reinforcement to the area is thus blocked, which has seriously reduced the capabilities of the Russian invasion forces in this region. In addition to Kherson Oblast, an active counteroffensive has also begun in Kharkiv Oblast. And although the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine is giving little away in its updates about military activity, the liberation of a number of territories, in particular Vysokopilia in northern Kherson Oblast, one of the key objectives in the Ukrainian army advance, have been confirmed. Besides, Ukrainian partisans continue to eliminate pro-Kremlin collaborators who have voluntarily agreed to work for the Russian occupation authorities. Amid these developments, the occupying administration in Kherson Oblast decided against holding a pseudo-referendum on joining the occupied region to Russia. So, in itself, if the you don't have to have any other evidence. If the Russians postpone holding the referendum, then that means that it's not safe and something is going on. Now, I don't know if it's going on because the Ukrainians are advancing on foot, or because they still have, or its newly acquired weapons have them provide them with the capability of hitting further targets, which means if the Russians said, okay, we push these guys to this safe distance from wherever we want to hold a referendum, but then because they don't have the capability to hit there, but all of a sudden, let's say the Ukrainians were provided with longer range weapons, missiles in this case, that you can know, then they can shoot from here, from further within their territory, they can reach you. So I don't know what changed. Could be the counteroffensive, which, as I said before in other videos, I haven't seen any evidence yet. It was only on that Monday, a week and a half ago, when the Ukrainians reported something about advancing troops, but then being pushed back by the Russians. I haven't found any other articles from the Ukrainians which should be, you know, everywhere in case they are accomplishing all kind of tasks in the territory. I haven't found any stating that they did this. It was that liberation of that town or two towns they claimed, and it was that picture with a guy on a building on a roof saying that belongs to a certain city. I don't know, maybe it is, maybe it's not. The fact is we cannot verify that, and we don't have the alternative news to tell us, oh, no, actually that's in Kiev or something. You know, I'm just being you know, very skeptical, but that's because I didn't hear any achievements on the territory. And if you read what Ukrainian armies reporting forces, they say that the Russians are trying to advance, and these guys are just trying to keep them at bay. So it seems like the Russians are attacking, not these guys. But we're going to find out in about, probably by Monday. By Monday is going to be probably mass media is going to say, well, everything is back to normal, because it's been 2 weeks since they started the thing, almost on Monday, I think. Last Monday, not this Monday. So if those guys are encircled, which are, I'm pretty sure they're elite troops, what I think it happened, I don't know if they are encircled, let's start with that one. But if they lost contact, I don't know for how long and what happened. Maybe they were, you know, intercepted by the enemies, and they had to switch frequency, and they have to communicate through other means until they regain the contact between whomever this guy is. I haven't found the name of the so-called propagandist, so that's another what? Who that? I mean, if he's a very famous, you should give me the name, right? Blogger. Or why wouldn't you give me the name? I mean, if he's a blogger, that means he's, you know. Anyway, I have doubts, but it's not impossible. Maybe they just destroyed the, you know, the line of communication for now, and we don't know what happened. And the other guy, who's that guy who confirmed? How does he have the information? The information just because the guys did not call him back? Is that what it is? What are the... How? I mean, I would like to know more about it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.